Hello,
Hey,
hello,
what's
hello.
up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Welcome
early
back.
Halloween, since Halloween is this weekend.
Dude, already Halloween this weekend. The year is
It's
over.
flying by. I
It's
literally
over.
can't even believe it's Halloween. We did not
Yeah.
decorate our house at all this year, so not like us.
We're pretty lame. I did buy some candy. It is hidden in the gym. I'm trying to keep it there so I don't eat it before the children get
Good
after
thinking.
it.
Good
Yeah.
thinking.
I've been good, kind of.
You've been good.
I haven't opened it. So that's a good start. That's a good start. It's a good tip for the day is keep your candy away from you.
Yeah. Treat yourself like a child.
Welcome back, guys. We're gonna talk about nothing today. I hope you're excited.
Just
for
random
this.
stuff. Yeah. No, random
just a
fun
bunch
stuff.
of bullshit. Current events, dumb shit. Let's go, Brandon. Florida, by the way. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
you know?
God. Horrible joke. Anyways, so moving on. So we do want to talk a
Pathetic,
little bit
yes.
about the fact that we are redoing our website. So new things going on with the gym, with Abs Fitness, with the team.
Yeah.
We are completely redoing the website. And so, when you go to it right now, it won't look redone because we are in the process of approving changes, and we've been so busy, and they just sent us the, the homepage, what it would look like yesterday. So we haven't had a chance to like
dope.
really approve everything, but it looks really
I think
good.
you guys are gonna like
I'm
it.
really excited for you guys to see all this changes that we put to it. New pictures, because we did have some old pictures on there. So we just new pictures, just explaining all the services that we offer. Because I think one of the services that we don't promote enough is the fact that we do offer online training.
Yeah, guys.
So if you don't live here, we can still train you. If you really like the vibe of our team, you've looked at our Instagram, you love the transformations, you love what we're about, we still can train you. We can train you online.
We've gotten some incredible
Yes,
transformations
incredible
online.
transformations.
CJ specifically, my homie back home, Buffalo, New York.
Hey, what's up, CJ? Yeah, he got super
crushed
shredded.
it
I made
last
him a
year.
meal plan, and he stuck to that meal plan to a T. He told me, I remember he specifically said, I want to look like Spider-Man. And I was like, all right, bro, I got you.
No, he turned him into. He looked better than Spider-Man.
Dude, he looked better than Spider-Man.
It's more like
sure.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool.
He's on the Instagram, by the way. So if you just keep scrolling down, you'll see the super shredded guy, and his name is CJ. And yep, that's him. So he did an online program from Buffalo. I've trained another person from Buffalo. We train people all around the United States. We could still train people overseas as well.
Yeah, I'll train your ass out of the country. Let's
right,
go,
out of
baby.
the country as well. But yeah, the online training is awesome. We do accountability, weekly check-in calls, and we can do anywhere between 2 to 5 workouts a week. We can customize workouts towards your home or towards the gym, and I've done
any
both.
gym you guys want, we
Absolutely.
will customize. I usually have the client either take a video of the gym, send like special equipment, or like we do know the gym layouts for most of the gyms, depending on the brand name of the gym. But it definitely helps if you have a trainer by your side in the gym.
Oh gosh, I got so creative
at home as well too.
during the pandemic. Like I remember my one client was like, well, I don't have any weights because of course we just like weren't prepared for all that to happen. And I was like, that's fine. Do you have water jugs? She's like, no. I said, can you go to the store and buy some gallons? Yeah. She's like, yes. I was like, perfect. So that's about 8 to 10 pounds. So we used water jugs. I had a client using like a backpack with books in it.
Laterals,
right.
Front raises.
Yeah.
Presses.
I just got super creative.
Doable.
And then also I made a bunch of YouTube videos of just HIIT workouts. I have an online client right now. Shout out to Beth. Hey girl, what's up? And also she is starting her own coffee truck. So hopefully she is listening. If not, I'm going to tell her I shouted her out. But anyways,
what is the coffee truck? What is that?
We should have her on here. You know what?
Yeah,
I think I'm going to invite
let's
her
get
on here so she can talk about the coffee truck, and she can just talk about more about what she's doing and how she started it and that whole process. But yeah, I'm really excited for her. Especially I love when friends or just people I know start businesses and become entrepreneurs. Yeah. It's a great journey. But with her, I just wanted to mention that again, with the creativity and the way that we can go with online training. So she had said, hey, is there any way we can get some home workouts? And boom, last night I threw into I gave her a YouTube workout to do for last night. And then today I threw into at-home workouts. And, she said I have some 5s and 8s. Perfect. I gave her an at-home upper workout and an at-home lower workout just for when things are really crazy busy with work and she can't make it to the gym. That way she has another option. So that's a really great thing about online training. Again, it could be for at home or at the gym. And that we can always throw those workouts in there if you are having a busy week and you need an at-home option. So online training, you get great results. We do the weekly accountability check-in calls. You still get a meal plan. It's another awesome tool that we do provide for our clients.
And you guys can train with any of us online. So like Alejandro's available online. Ben's available online.
Oh,
Phil,
Justin Sim, he's saying
Caitlin.
hi to you right there.
Yo, what up, Chad?
What up, Chad? Hey, how you doing, bud?
Hey. But yeah, so we are all available online. So if you want to like special request one of our trainers, you can.
Right.
Always just ask, and you shall receive. Hopefully, if they have availability on their schedule.
Yeah.
But the online training is freaking amazing. We have an app that we run through. So basically, it's all in your phone, and you always have your phone. So we know you have access to it at all times, at any gym, any place, and at your house, which is awesome. And that's just covering like outside of our gym. So our home base is in basically outside of Tampa and Brandon. And we have an on-site facility. It's 2,500 square feet. We have 6 trainers who are top of the notch. We've been busting out results all year long at this location, and it's been going really good. And Alejandro's made some good transformation himself.
Yeah.
I think
he
he
just
just put
posted
this
his
shit up
year-long
today.
transformation.
Yeah, I just posted.
Yo.
Is this working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, cool. Sounds different than normal. Anyways, yeah, I just posted like a year-long bodybuilding transformation.
Yeah,
well, I
dude.
posted it from like the time that I was 16. It's been a huge transformation because it's been like 4 years of mixed martial arts, along with like, let's say more extensive weight training, and overall just programming like my own design programs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. Yeah. So it's not just been like a physical transformation, but I included, the things that I was lacking mentally that were holding me back. And,
just
it
watched
kind of
that
just
before we came on.
manifested. Oh, dope.
Yeah,
Love it.
so,
What'd you think?
Well, I saw that you said lack of integrity, lack of honesty. So I guess
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you what that meant to you. Like, what do you mean lack of honesty and lack of integrity? Because I've always known you to be the person with integrity and honesty. So
Mhm.
I guess I'm looking for like more of a backstory of why you thought you didn't have those qualities, and how you improved on those within that transformation, and how like your physical transformation really helped you excel into your personal and spiritual growth transformation as well.
Yeah. So as far as like the lack of integrity and lack of honesty, I think we all have struggled with this at one point in time.
Oh,
No one
yeah,
comes out of the
definitely.
womb. Yeah, exactly. Like no one comes out of the womb like, honest Abe.
Well, you do, but
I mean,
we develop bad
technically,
habits.
you
I
can't
don't
even
think so.
speak. So technically,
Children
you really
are
are honest.
the worst liars.
Oh
I would
No, they're
beg to differ.
actually, they do lie, but they're very honest.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
crazy. Isn't it
Yeah.
a crazy
But
oxymoron?
they'll learn though. Like they learn. As
They
soon
learn
as they
to
learn,
lie,
it's
yeah.
like, if
They
I
abuse
lie,
the
I'll
power.
get this
They abuse the
toy.
power of
I'm
lying.
going to give you a perfect example of the typical lie that we all have once done. And my siblings are going to laugh because we did this a lot. So you come downstairs, you go ask to go to your friend's house. No, clean your room. You go back upstairs. You stay up there for about 20 minutes, a significant amount of time that you think that your parents think it took to clean your room. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. And then you shove all your stuff out of the bed.
That's right.
You make
Yep.
pull the blanket over
Dude, they're not
over the
dumb,
bottom of the
though.
bed so you can't see anything. I mean, they never checked. It worked every time.
They didn't even check.
I don't know about your parents.
That's not true.
They didn't have to check. They
At
fucking
first
knew.
it worked, but then for a while they caught on, and then it didn't work anymore. So then my sister and I had an attic behind our bed. So then instead of shoving it under the bed, we shove it behind the attic.
And look, if you would have took that time to just fucking clean that room, it would have been done. I used to do the same shit though.
It would've, but,
Everything. Everything's
Organizing
getting
just
shoved.
stresses me out. You know this.
Yeah,
I'm horrible at
she's-
organizing. I just really don't like it. I look at a mess and I'm just completely overwhelmed immediately. And I'm just like, I don't know. You do it.
Yeah, but I think that mess in that like a messy room, especially like sweeping things under the bed and just covering it up with sheets or whatnot, is
That
like
goes
the
along
perfect
with
metaphor.
life, though.
Yeah, that's a perfect metaphor for exactly what
If you're a
like
sweeper in your bed, you're a sweeper in life.
exactly. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's just like at a certain point, I felt like I had stunted. My growth had stopped. So whether that be from like childhood trauma or what, well, it was from childhood trauma. So basically, like I got to the point where I was falling into bad habits, and I was supporting those habits by lying to myself. And it was easy to do because I wasn't super developed at the time. I was like 15, 16, and I got involved in my first serious relationship. By the time I was 17, yeah, so like
15 years old.
17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little.
Still.
I was definitely
Yeah,
way more.
You were a
mature.
grown man by then,
Okay.
sir.
All right. I'm
in,
listening,
in
go
some
on.
cultures. But yeah, by the time I was 17, like just turning 18, I got involved in my first serious relationship. And I wasn't a fully formed human. I wasn't, past my traumas. And the fact that I was like falling in love with someone for the first time was like so insanely out of my control and something that just I was completely foreign to me. So I fell back on old habits that were familiar to me, which included, you know, reaching out to, or like just like finding comfort in like just chicks, just other chicks.
I like how he said
You
that.
were also
because,
18 at the time, boy.
I mean, it was
exactly.
honest,
Hormones
but
are
it's so
insane.
true
Yeah.
because, you know, guys, they do that, right? It's just like, you know, you
Yeah.
get told to not put all your eggs in one basket. So, you
Mhm.
know, even though you're connected to this one person and you're like committing to this one person, you're like,
Yeah.
but this could go wrong. So let me
Mhm.
put eggs in 5 other baskets.
Yeah, like subconsciously, if this thing that I couldn't control, like if there was some form of control that I could have in my life, then I would establish it, especially along the same parameters, because it was my fallout, is my backup. But you can't really have a backup when you're truly like falling in love with someone. And I didn't know that at the time.
Of course,
So,
you're
like,
17. Do you really know what love
Yeah.
is? And then, I don't
you know what love is. You know what love is when you're a baby.
I mean, seriously, I look.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
yeah,
when you're
it's
talking about this
true.
first
Yeah.
serious relationship,
If you
I
had a
look,
mother that held you, you know what love
okay,
is.
Yeah.
okay,
There you
yes,
go.
all right. But I'm just saying the love, and I'm gonna look at Justin because, you know, here the love that you have in your very first relationship versus the love that you have when you are a more mature adult and, you know, you're married is completely different. Like I look back at my first, you know, love relationship.
Obviously.
Well, yeah,
Or
I
else you'd
know,
be
but I'm just
married to
saying,
that
like,
girl, dude.
Falling
Come on.
in love
this
when you
concept.
are 17 versus falling in love when you are a mature adult are completely different things.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I look back on my first experience listening to you and I'm like, and you know, I'll never forget that relationship. It was a very long relationship. But yeah, I wasn't a fully developed human either. And there were so many things that I wish I could have done differently, right? You,
Oh, yeah.
you do things to hurt that person. And then now as an
Mhm.
adult, you're like, man, it's completely inappropriate to go talk to them now. But
Yeah.
like, could you go back? Do you wish you could go back and say, listen, you know, I don't love you now, but I really feel bad for these things that I had put you through or these things I had done to you to hurt you.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, because we're not fully developed and we make mistakes, especially
Yeah.
if you have trauma and you carry that with you, you know, work through it until you're older and later in life. And then you realize these things, you have these revelations, and you're like, wow, I really wish I would have had that revelation earlier on.
Oh yeah.
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 And I don't think it's not easy to become fully developed because no one
No.
is. I'm still not. And I'm
It
old.
took, like,
yeah.
for me personally, it took great pain. Like, you
Yeah.
know, to take that first love. We were only together for like a year and a half, but like to take the first person that you like truly loved and felt like understood you more than anyone else in the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then to like fuck that up yourself and understand that the reason that you fucked it up was because you lacked honesty, you lacked integrity. Like
Yeah.
that was a big lesson for me because like that pain was necessary for me to develop those characteristics so strongly. So I think the fact that I experienced it at such an early age is a big reason why I'm like honest today. Like
Yeah.
I hate lying.
But
hate
you
it
learn
so
from
much.
it, which is good. Instead of just like doing that and continuing to do it over and over and over again, which is most likely what a lot of people do is just follow a
Because
pattern.
right, it's a pattern, it's a negative pattern, negative cycle,
Yeah.
vicious cycle, however you want to say it. But you know, a lot of us don't realize that, and so many people that continue to hurt people, or they're in an unhappy marriage, or a toxic marriage, or a toxic relationship. Right? You don't have to be married; you can be in a relationship. Those people don't realize that was patterns, right? And they don't realize that we have accountability, and we have a responsibility in, you know, relationship. It's never just one person. It's, you know, both people have things that they can fix. And like when we're not realizing the cycle and how we are triggering one another, right? Because we always end up with somebody because there was some sort of chemistry, a friendship, chemistry, right? I can't even believe we went on this path because it's supposed to be about random stuff.
Yeah.
But
This is
it is
This
random.
for
But
sure.
anyway, so you know, you develop a relationship because you connect, but sometimes then it doesn't work out. It becomes argumentative or toxic, right? Is, you know, then people break up instead of trying to figure out like, hey, we came together for a reason, you know, we have, you know, shared interests or chemistry, and how can we fix this negative cycle, this negative, you know, pattern, and what is it, and how are we triggering each other, what is your trauma, and sharing those deep things. It's really hard to get deep with someone.
Mhm.
I mean, Justin and I are still at that point where we're getting deep with each other about things that we went through as in our
Yeah.
childhoods, and like, you know, things that we realized really affected, like what was the first thing that affected our self-esteem, and what was said, and, you know, and wow, and how do we think it affected us as we continue to grow, and oh, hey, I became more, you know, tough, and I became really build all these walls because of this, right? But you know, you develop those when you're older, and not everybody, you know, can actually look back at themselves and reflect on that. It's a really truly
Self-reflection is key for
Mm.
sure. It makes you
self-reflection is a
grow,
skill.
and it makes you realize like what you went through, and you need to realize that in order to grow. Growth involves pain. Always, it
Mm.
seems.
I say that all the time. It
hurts in the
there's change
gym.
in
I'll tell you
pain.
that much.
I want to touch base on like a revelation or like a bit of an epiphany that I had recently. It was only a couple of weeks ago, but life operates in opposites, like big time. It operates in opposites. Anything that you want, you almost always have to perform the exact opposite task in order to
Give
achieve
me an
it.
example.
If you want to be successful, you have to fail. If you
Oh
want,
yeah,
if
that's
you
a
want to
perfect
lose
example.
weight,
Like that.
yeah. Like if you whatchamacallit, like let's say you want to get big, right? You got to destroy your muscles.
Okay. Yeah. Another good example.
Yes.
Like it.
Everything is opposite.
So completely different topic here, but this was one that we wanted to dive in on, and I think it'll be fun. Is the fact that Facebook changed their name, which I didn't even know about until Justin literally told me about an hour ago, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
My whole world was rocked.
Welcome
I was
to the
like,
metaverse,
Mm.
people.
"Metaverse? What the
So-
heck is this?"
Facebook is changing their name. I don't know why.
Who's in the building right now?
There he is, dude. There, that is Meta Ali, dude.
metaverse.
It's
There he
Meta
is.
Ali.
Yeah, he's appeared. So this is the digital version of Alejandro.
Right.
And
Digital.
soon you'll be able
What
to
do they
live
call
in a
those digital things
world.
that you
Coming
can buy?
soon.
What are they called? Those digital
Oh,
things?
the NFTs.
Yeah, let's make an NFT of digital
Dude.
Ali.
So the NFT is like it's almost a form of currency, like a crypto coin. And these effers are making millions on some digital art, little Minecraft pictures, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of jealous.
I'm just you guys'
Not gonna
hype
lie.
man in the background. Like
Yeah.
ignore me. If I say something.
the metaphors.
What do you think about the metaphors,
Metaphors.
though? I mean, seriously, this is crazy. Like, I was telling Justin this like a while ago. I'm like, we're gonna get to a point where like we live in like a Sims world, and like eventually you don't even have to worry about plastic surgery. You'll just be able to get whatever you want by clicking on a computer screen,
Yeah,
and you're
you
just
can
gonna go
buy
into the computer screen
a
and come out a
skin.
different person. Yeah, buy a
Whatever
skin.
you want.
So like these kids on like I've never really I know you played Fortnite. I tried it one
Fortnite.
time. I quit. I'm done. Never playing it again. Anyway,
I've
these
never
kids
played
they'll
Fortnite.
spend all their parents' money on these skins. I guess you could buy like clothing for them. You can change their outfits. You can buy guns and shit.
It's
and that
crazy.
is like from what I'm seeing and hearing, this is like the new metaverse is going to be like a digital world that you can almost live in, which is
That
insane.
is insane.
So
We're going to enter the simulation
Yeah.
now.
like, is this a Matrix? Like, what the heck is going on? I'm so confused. Like, why would one want to live in a digital world when we are literally still, interacting with actual people? Like, is this for people that are having trouble meeting real people in life? Like, okay, just date somebody through the virtual world. Like, what is the purpose
yeah,
of the
what
metaverse?
does the meta Tinder look like?
the meta
So
what do you
Tinder?
think
Oh
about
my
this,
god.
Alejandro?
I think it's all about submersion.
Virtual dates.
It's all about submersion and ease of access. So people think ease of access is what's going to bring them like fulfillment in life.
So do you think this is all because people become so lazy that
Yes.
we needed a metaverse to solve the problem?
Yes, but it's much deeper than that because like the laziness isn't just it's something that's innate, but it's something that's been acted upon by very complex algorithms that have been like established over a long period of time. Echo chambers that are constantly putting people on a feedback loop where they realize that there's this reward system. There's just a fucking button that
Like
they can press
button.
for dopamine all day.
Yeah.
long, You know.
Yes.
True.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
We've seen that documentary. What was that?
Yes.
The social something.
The
Yeah.
social experiment, is that what it's called?
I can't remember. It's
The social
I forget
dilemma.
it.
That's
Yeah,
what
the
it was
social
called.
dilemma. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It makes
was
you
like-
realize that this thing is like killing us.
I was literally
It
like,
is
wait, so does
toxic.
this thing tell me what I like? Do I really like this? Do I really think this? Do I really believe this? Or are these all just belief systems that have been pushed upon me based off of this algorithm?
Yeah.
Alexa is listening to everything we talk about. Is she then just computing it right to Facebook? And now this
Yeah,
metaverse
technically,
is
yeah. So that's like
just
how they.
connecting me to
build
these
that
things
shit
I
on you.
like.
Yeah.
It's like they build like a rap sheet on you, on
Mhm.
shit you buy and stupid things you.
It's not even
purchase.
just that. So the crazy thing that we learned during this social dilemma, right, is so during election, they call these people manipulators, right? Is that what they called us? The manipulators, like people they can manipulate,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah.
So
that's
like
right, yeah.
people who are open-minded. So these and be careful, people, because this is how they said that they really attacked this whole problem of the election is that these quizzes on Facebook, these little surveys, these quizzes, these fun little things, I will find out your Disney character. They are actually taking these answers to these quizzes and these surveys to find out if you are manipulable, right? Somebody that can be they're open-minded, can be swayed is what they mean.
Yeah.
They want to sway you. So let's-
Surveys will steal your soul.
So basically, yeah, surveys will steal your soul. They'll find out if you're open-minded towards whatever,
Persuasion.
right? So
Yeah.
let's say this is the Republican Party. They find out you're open-minded. Boom, we're gonna now push Republican Party stuff towards this person, right? Or Democratic, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I'm just giving you an
I mean,
example.
so listen, yeah, they do that. And so do I with my ads. And if you're watching them, make sure you click on them and sign up. So that's what I'm talking about.
It was so funny because I was at the hair salon and I was walking as I was walking out. This one of the other hairdressers was like, "I see your ads all the time," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, you're probably so sick of my voice." Riverview, Brandon, Valrico, and all surrounding areas.
So we're gonna come out with the Meta ads.
The Meta abs.
And we're just gonna like pop up in your house now instead of like on your screen.
I'm gonna be like literally virtually slapping a muffin out of your hand. Get that out of your hands right now. You know you're better than that.
You're
that
better.
Could be useful. I think that would actually work for most people.
It would.
If I could physically slap shit out of your hands.
Well, you know, I had so many people that
And
were
your
like, "I
mouth.
wish I could just take you home with me."
Yeah, no.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
if you could infect someone's phone like a malware and then just watch them eat donuts, and as soon as they eat a donut, you pop onto their TV screen or something.
and it's just me going, "Drop that now. Give
Yeah.
me 10 burpees to
We
make
are
up
Big
for it."
Brother.
he could be the
Or Big Brother.
Aliton. He's just
Oh,
following
yeah, the
1984
Aliton.
reference. 1984
Aliton.
reference.
It's the Peloton, but it's the Aliton.
The
And
Aliton.
he just comes around and slaps shit out your hands all day.
He slaps it out of his hand, so it's a negative behavior, but then he follows it up with a positive affirmation. You're better than this. You
Yeah.
can do this. I believe in you.
An
You're better
emotional
than that
reward.
muffin.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I think it would work, dude. That
Mhm.
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I-
Mark
Punishments, but
Cuban, if
rewards
you're
as well.
listening, we're gonna pitch this to you one day on Shark Tank.
You
The
just see-
Aliton 5000.
You just see all
I'll do
three
it.
of us. I'll just pretend to be the client. Okay. So I'll get the muffin ready. Don't
Okay.
worry, guys. I got it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I thought we were. I
But
thought we were
seriously, this
role-playing.
metaverse thing, it's scaring me. Like, where is this really going to go? And then I
Um,
saw a commercial. Well, I guess it's a commercial ad, whatever. Those little things that pop up on Facebook. You know, I say little
One of those
things.
ads like we
Those
do.
ads, right? They came up and said
Doo-doo-doo.
that, you know, they're making flying motorcycles. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
I'm
my
about that
gosh.
life though. That's pretty dope.
I mean, it's dope, but can you imagine? So, like, as we were driving
could.
into the podcast today, I
Mhm.
like looked up and saw
Oh
this
man,
plane.
I could definitely
okay,
imagine.
okay. So I looked
Oh,
up
yeah.
and I saw this plane and was just flying so low. Can you imagine, like, looking up and you're seeing like a motorcycle flying in front of you? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
why even
so
drive on the road
this
when you
is
can
where
drive a
the-
flying motorcycle?
that technology just advances so fast. So like, I don't know when that plane was invented. Someone does. They can give me the answer online. But that dude invented that plane, and at that time, he was crazy. Technically,
Yeah.
everyone's like, "This motherfucker."
Are we talking about the Wright brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or these brothers
Exactly.
are flying this
I
big
knew
ass
that answer,
thing
Ollie, don't
in the
worry.
air. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
And now
We need
it's so
history
normal
lessons.
to see this big ass piece of metal just
Yeah.
floating in the sky that
That's
it's not
true.
even you don't even glance at it anymore, and you're like, "Oh, that annoying noise up there."
That's true.
And at one point in time, it was an amazing thing.
So when this is
So
really funny. So
It advances
Alejandro,
so fast.
we were making
Fire.
shirts. Alejandro had come over. He wanted to make a design, and as soon as he heard the noise of the silhouette, he was like, "That noise is like really annoying." And we're
Mhm.
and Justin's like,
It's a
"Abby,
dial-up
doesn't this sound
saver.
like the dial-up internet?" I'm like, "Oh my god, it does."
Yeah. So anyone that's my age, and I'm not
You
even
remember
that
the
old.
dial-up internet. You pick up the phone because you want to go call your friend, and your mom's on the internet, and it's on AOL. Beep,
Yep. You
and
gotta
I'm like,
tap it into your
you-
home phone line.
you yell down the stairs, "Mom, get off the internet! I'm trying to call my friend."
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. But now we take full advantage of it. Like I get mad if my shit's not loading in like
Seconds. Me
0.4
too.
seconds. I'm like, this thing is.
I
a
get
piece
mad if
of
it's not sending a text message, you know, iMessage, right? And it's like, you have no service. So now it's turning green and it won't send. And I'm like, what the heck? My iMessage isn't working. Like, I mean, that sounds insane when you think about it.
Your iMessage dictates your happiness.
Ollie Tom,
Pretty much.
5.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
Like, I remember
it's
the
pretty
first
fucking
time that my dad brought me home a computer. Like, it was just this like big freaking boxy thing. And all I could do on it was play solitaire. And he was like, Ab, these are the new things. They're computers. And I'm like, what the
And
heck's a
that mind
computer?
game, like, what was that? The Mind Finder thing. It was the worst
yeah,
game
yeah.
ever that no one could ever beat.
And then like now they have all these game
Minesweeper.
systems.
There you
Like
go,
I had,
Sweeper,
yeah,
yeah.
like I had Nintendo 64. That shit was so old, and you used to have
Yeah.
to take the games out and blow on the games,
Mm.
and then put them back in when it was glitching. I mean, this is insane. Now we pretty much have a Nintendo 64, but like with way better graphics,
Yeah.
right in our hands at all times.
I've had all those systems. We went through. I had a cassette player, a CD player.
an MP3 player.
The
We were talking about
MP3.
that. I was like, I remember the trip to Florida. It was like 24 hours.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I had like maybe 10
12
songs, 10 songs of an
songs.
MP3 player. They
Yeah.
can listen to Avril Lavigne like maybe 30 times.
Yeah, the times
Awful.
have changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, full
So-
access to everything.
I think this kind of comes full circle back to what I was saying about like things operating in opposites. Because right now what we're talking about is like you know the progression of technology, which is supposed to make our lives easier and better. But
Yeah.
we're talking about the downsides of it, which I mean, of course, it has made our lives a lot easier and more efficient in very specific ways. But unfortunately, it's like, are we evolved enough to handle this level of technology.
See, that's where I was trying to go with this is no, I don't think we are, because the thing is like there's so many people's emotional intelligence is being stunted by this. And what I mean by that is like you know, you were telling me recently just like the dating world and like how you have found that so many girls like are literally
sorry, buddy.
They don't want to get on the phone. Like they don't want to get on the phone. They only want to text, and then when they're out on a date, they're on their phone like this. It's just like, why are you even here? Why are you on a date with me?
The word is vapid.
Minder.
But it's even like when they're not on their phone, even like in conversation, it's like it tends to be very vapid. Vapid is the
and we
word.
were talking about this, and actually we made a revelation. What was this, today or yesterday? Gosh, I think it was yesterday, that I really have come to the conclusion. I feel like a lot of these new age kids, and it's hard for you to connect with a lot of girls on these dates because like your maturity level is just beyond them. But a lot of these girls, like, you know, they didn't, you know, grow up with a lot of hardships. And I feel like a lot of the people, this emotional intelligence that differs from the new age kids going through all these technology issues where their emotional intelligence is being affected, is like usually the kids who haven't really gone through much trauma. So like if you've gone through like a lot of trauma, you have learned to, you know, grow up really fast and become the parent or become the caretaker or just learn to deal with your trauma and move on. And so like you have this maturity and this different perspective on life, whereas somebody who's been sheltered their whole life and hasn't gone through a lot of trauma, you know what I mean, they have the ability to be just mindless on their phones and you know, just disconnect and like, you know what I mean, their emotional intelligence is stunted because of that.
That is their trauma though, the emotional like disconnect.
I guess
and,
the attachment disorder.
I was watching a show about this and they were talking about that, and they said sometimes these, you know, the rich kids grow up and they fuck themselves because they're so non-emotional, no attachment,
apathy,
and then they have this self-destructive attitude, and it just like brings them down a hole.
What's interesting is it's proportional, because if you analyze like someone that does experience trauma at a younger age, they develop a tougher skin. However, that like when they first when they first experienced that trauma, it was crushing. So like you got to take a look at the perspective that's been developed, because they've had the opportunity to deal with things that are extremely painful and overcome them. However, whenever a child stubs their toe, or let's say they slam their finger in a door, the first time they ever do it, it's the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. They'll cry and cry and cry for like 10-30 minutes because like that's their first experience with pain. So that if it's an adult and they're experiencing like an apathetic form of trauma, like a lot of these rich kids that you think are like, oh, they're so spoiled, you know, their trauma is just different, and it takes place at a different time and in a different way, because they develop like this apathy, and they like deal with parents that aren't always there. But the pain, like it would be interesting to see like how the scale works, because that pain might be very similar to the same trauma someone else experienced much earlier.
I noticed too that those same people that were sheltered and maybe grew up with less trauma, they don't deal with I guess again, and it goes back to resilience, they don't deal well with being under a lot of pressure and stress. So like let's say they were put under this, because like when I had to work at Subway, I had a million responsibilities. I mean, gosh, it was insane that I had this many tasks to do for like $8 an hour. But let's say like that was a lot of, you know, stress, and was very overwhelming for someone who's sheltered and grew up rich their whole life. But for somebody who's had to deal with something so immense at a young age, that's nothing. This is like, I can overcome this. This job is easy. You know, I'll clean the toilets, whatever. But for somebody who's never cleaned a toilet in their life, never had a chore, like this is very stressful. I hate this job. I'm going to quit tomorrow. So like their resilience under stress and under pressure is also very weak as well. So I mean,
well, I think it's just that to deal with pressure since birth, because now they have these shoes to fill of their rich ass parents, and then now when they fall short, they feel even worse.
So I guess just another like
it's just a different way to look at it.
And I mean, the question that kind of arises in my mind when you talk about that, specifically you bringing up the fact that you know, it wasn't a big hurdle for you, however it may have been a big hurdle for them, is the accumulation of incompetence something that eventually levels out whenever it comes to like does that accumulation of just being incompetent in a bunch of situations eventually build up to a point where you feel so suffocated by all these failures you've built up over time that it almost simulates the same let's say advantages of overcoming a trauma at a young age?
Maybe something else to delve into in a different episode, but we just ended up spending so much time talking about the metaverse and trauma and relationships and nothing. But anyways, you know, the metaverse, I want to talk more on that in just several different episodes, just because this virtual world will affect us in many different ways, especially physically, because if we are completely glued to our electronics and our phones at all times, we are going to continue to become more unhealthy people, and we're going to continue to gain weight rapidly as the entire United States, right, become completely unhealthy, and we are already there. So I'm scared to see where else that will lead to. But that's a wrap
I'm
up
also
for today,
excited
guys.
though, because this is interesting.
Yes, it is.
I've
it's
been
very
through a lot of
topic.
things so far, but it's interesting to just watch it happen.
Yeah.
And we can't stop it. That train's rolling. So unfortunately, we just have to adapt like we always do.
Yep.
But make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook, Abs
TikTok.
Fitness LLC. We got Instagram, Abs Fitness _ Brandon, Florida. We got Spotify, Operation Hustle. And what is the TikTok?
Oh, we're on the metaverse too, people. Welcome.
What's the TikTok
to
and the
future.
YouTube before we
the
go?
TikTok is Abs Fitness Tampa, Florida. And the YouTube is Abs Fitness Film House.
Awesome.
That's it.
All right, guys.
We'll see you
Happy
guys next
Friday.
week.
Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you guys again.
Bye.
Let's go, Brandon.